Level 1, the recruit. Stage 1, the newcomer. You finalize your contract at a recruiting post located in a local strip mall. The officer gives you a firm handshake, flashing a grin as if you've just hit the jackpot. However, you have no idea what you've actually gotten yourself into yet. At 19 years old, your background consists of playing high school football, training with weights in your own garage, and binging every single war film available. You are convinced that you understand exactly what you are volunteering for. You are mistaken. You take a flight to Fort Benning to begin basic combat training. Within the first 60 minutes, your head is completely shaved. They confiscate your civilian attire and hand you an ill-fitting uniform. From the exact second you exit the bus, the shouting begins. A drill instructor gets right up in your face, just inches away, screaming that you are completely worthless. And you buy into it. Your life for the next 10 weeks revolves entirely around running, firing weapons, marching, and enduring hardships. You master the proper way to handle a rifle, how to pull the pin and toss a grenade, and how to stay alive during a chemical warfare scenario. Eventually, you make it to graduation. Your mom tears up during the commencement ceremony. You get to feel a sense of pride for roughly an hour before you have to report straight to airborne school. What follows is 3 weeks dedicated to leaping out of aircrafts. On your very first attempt, terror completely paralyzes you, making it hard to even breathe. Without hesitation, the jumpmaster launches you out of the open door. You plummet through 1,250 feet of thin air in free fall until your parachute finally deploys. The impact with the ground is brutal, but you make it through. After repeating this 4 more times, you officially receive your jump wings. Even so, you are nowhere near becoming a Green Beret just yet. At this point, you are merely a paratrooper, a standard infantry soldier sporting silver wings on your chest. Next, you transfer to Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Around the military post, you spot the elite soldiers sporting their distinct Green Berets. They completely ignore you. To them, you don't even exist yet. You still have to prove that you deserve their recognition. You spend your initial year assigned to a standard infantry unit. Your days are filled with maintaining weapons that you will likely never utilize in an actual firefight. You stand outside in formation while it pours. Meanwhile, you pocket every single cent of your income because your ultimate goal is still to earn that Green Beret. After 11 months of service, you officially submit your application for Special Forces selection. Your platoon sergeant warns you that 9 out of 10 guys with your profile drop out within the very first week. He challenges you to prove that he's wrong. And you fully plan on doing just that. Level 2, the candidate. You choose to enlist in the Special Forces Assessment and Selection, commonly referred to as SFAS or simply, selection. This 3-week program is structured to push your limits and break your spirit in ways you never thought possible. Out of the 400 candidates who arrive on the first day, only 150 will endure until the very end. You will either make the cut, or you will fail. The initial week is dedicated to physical fitness evaluations, including push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, timed running drills, and a 12-mile ruck march carrying 45 pounds of equipment. The passing benchmarks are kept secret, and you are never informed of your performance. Your only instruction is to report back the following morning. During the second week, you must navigate the pine forests of Camp Mackle using nothing but a map and a compass. Carrying a 65-pound rucksack, you are given a set of coordinates to reach before an unspecified deadline. You will trek 20 miles across grueling swamps and hills without any rest or food. Each time you stumble, you must force yourself back up. The instructors offer no assistance or acknowledgement, they simply observe and take notes on their clipboards. Every day, candidates drop out. They approach the staff and utter the words, "I quit." With a silent nod from the instructor, a truck arrives to pick up the candidate and drives off. No one utters a word, and you just keep moving forward. The final week focuses on teamwork. Separated into small squads, you are assigned seemingly impossible challenges, hauling a telephone pole across an open field, transporting a mock casualty through a swamp, and constructing a raft out of ropes and barrels. The actual completion of these tasks is irrelevant, the instructors are evaluating your ability to cooperate with unfamiliar peers. They want to see if you step up to lead, follow orders, complain, or give up. Once the 3 weeks are up, a list of names is called out. Your name is included. You have passed the selection process, but the true challenge is only just beginning. Level 3, the qualification student. The Q course is where the real challenge begins. This 18-month training program is crafted to transform an ordinary soldier into an elite Green Beret. Your journey starts with small unit tactics. Here, you master the art of moving stealthily across various terrains without detection. You learn to communicate silently using hand signals, and you practice both executing and surviving deadly ambushes. For weeks on end, you live entirely outdoors, surviving on cold rations, sleeping in the mud, and going completely without showers. Phase 2, MOS Specialty and Language SCU. Greater than following that, you dive into your MOS specific training. You are designated a particular role: Weapons Sergeant, Engineer Sergeant, Medical Sergeant, or Communications Sergeant. Each path has its own dedicated school lasting several months, designed to push you to your absolute limits. Greater than as a Weapons Sergeant, you must master every firearm produced over the past century, including American, Russian, Chinese, and Belgian rifles. You are trained to operate, strip down, fix, and instruct others on these weapons. After discharging thousands of rounds, your shoulder becomes heavily bruised, and your ears ring non-stop. Greater than next is the language school, as every Green Beret must speak a foreign tongue. Assigned to Arabic, you undergo 6 months of rigorous education, 8 hours of daily classroom instruction followed by another 8 hours of self-study. You commit 5,000 vocabulary words to memory, master a completely new alphabet, and develop the reading, writing, and speaking skills necessary for Middle Eastern deployments. While many students fail and are forced to restart, you manage to pass. Phase 3, Robin Sage. Greater than finally, you face Robin Sage, the ultimate test. Spending a month in the forests of North Carolina, you are deployed into a fictional nation known as Pineland. Your objective is to organize, train, and command a local guerrilla force to overthrow a tyrannical regime. Greater than these locals are played by civilian volunteers with years of experience in this exercise. They will constantly test your patience, dispute your choices, and attempt to trip you up. To earn their trust, you must eat their food, share their living conditions, teach them combat tactics, and engage in mock battles against conventional soldiers acting as the opposing force. In the end, it's a matter of passing or failing. You make the grade. You head back to Fort Bragg, where they place a Green Beret on your head during a modest ceremony. Your family attends, and your mother sheds tears once more. This time around, you weep as well. Yet, that beret is merely a piece of wool fabric. Its true value lies in what it stands for. When they gave it to you, you bound yourself to a solemn oath, de oppresso liber, to liberate the oppressed. While the maxim is in Latin, the objective spans the entire world. You will be sent to regions most Americans have never even heard of, fighting in conflicts that will remain hidden from the public. You will face all of this alongside a group of 11 other men. It will be just you, your squad, and whatever gear you can carry on your shoulders. Level 4, the Junior Engineer Sergeant. You get posted to an Operational Detachment Alpha, commonly known as an ODA, which is a 12-man squad. This unit serves as the fundamental cornerstone of the Special Forces. It consists of 2 officers and 10 non-commissioned officers. Each individual is an expert in a specific field, yet every single member is capable of stepping into another's role during a crisis. As the Junior Engineer Sergeant, an 18 Charlie, your responsibilities revolve around construction and demolition. Your unit gets sent out to Iraq, where your initial assignment involves preparing a platoon of Iraqi troops. In theory, these Iraqi soldiers are meant to eventually assume control over their nation's security. However, the actual situation on the ground is far more intricate. Your daytime hours are spent at a training facility located just outside of Baghdad, instructing them in shooting skills, clearing buildings, medical first aid, and fundamental combat tactics. The Iraqi recruits come from all walks of life. Some are enthusiastic young men eager to defend their homeland. Some are seasoned veterans who have made it through 3 separate conflicts, and others are moles operating on behalf of rebel factions. Though you cannot tell who is who, you continue to train them regardless. Once night falls, you execute operational missions. Alongside your Iraqi partners, your squad launches raids on dwellings where intelligence suggests rebels are lying low. You breach entryways and clear pitch-black rooms using the flashlights attached to your firearms. Ultimately, you uncover hidden stockpiles of weapons buried in yards, as well as makeshift bomb factories inside deserted warehouses. You come across innocent, frightened families, so you express your regrets and move on. You also encounter hostile forces. While some are taken into custody, others resist capture, forcing you to take necessary action. Your initial firefight takes only 30 seconds, yet it feels as though 30 minutes have passed. Your squad leader gets shot in the shoulder. You pull him to safety behind a barrier and dress his injury using the medical skills gained during your Q course training. You request a medical evacuation chopper. Fortunately, he pulls through and rejoins the squad 3 months down the road. You have gained a certain respect that is hard to put into words, but the veteran soldiers definitely view you in a new light. Your tour of duty is prolonged to 9 months. It turns out the local unit you coached is only partially trustworthy. 3 soldiers vanished overnight, taking their American-issued gear with them. A week later, they re-emerged on the enemy's front lines. Your team sergeant warned you about this possibility. Though you initially doubted him, you now realize he was right. You celebrate the Christmas holidays inside a makeshift wooden shelter at a forward operating base. A care package of cookies from your mom arrives completely crushed, but you consume the pieces regardless. You manage to speak with her on a satellite phone for a brief 3 minutes. When she inquires about your safety, you reassure her that all is well. After hanging up, you hear mortar shells impacting just 3 kilometers away. In reality, things are far from well, and you are realizing that the word, fine, holds a completely different meaning for you now. Level 5, the Senior Weapons Sergeant. You are currently on your 4th tour of duty, having served twice in Iraq and twice in Afghanistan. Following your promotion, you now serve as the Senior Weapons Sergeant, holding the 18 Bravo specialty. You are the squad's go-to authority on all firearms and ordnance. At 27 years old, you have experienced more active combat than the vast majority of military personnel throughout history. Your detachment is stationed in a province located in eastern Afghanistan, tasked with village stability operations. You reside right alongside the native population inside a small outpost, situated in a village at the very end of an unpaved road. The closest American military installation is 40 miles out. Even on a clear day, air reinforcement is at least 20 minutes away. You and your 11 fellow soldiers are entirely on your own. Every afternoon, you share tea with the local village leaders, taking the time to understand their names, their families, and their complaints. The person to your left had 2 of his sons killed by the Taliban, while the person to your right lost his brother in an American airstrike. Both of them are turning to you for assistance, and either one could double-cross you tomorrow. There is simply no way to know. Despite the uncertainty, you choose to forge a connection. You assist in training the local police, construct a schoolhouse, deliver medical aid, and fund the drilling of a new water well. You manage all of these projects while continuously scouting for Taliban insurgents who control the high country overlooking the village. Every single night, their voices come through the radio. They are familiar with your names and even the names of your mothers. Through middlemen, they send threats targeted at your loved ones back home. Consequently, restful sleep eludes you. One evening, a young boy approaches your security gate. He appears to be around 12 years old and carries a message from his father. According to the note, the Taliban plan to transport weaponry through a dry riverbed 3 miles to the north tomorrow. After confirming this data through alternative intelligence streams, you organize an ambush. Your squad deploys into position ahead of sunrise. For 8 grueling hours, you endure scorching 110-degree weather. When the Taliban finally show up, they are armed with assault rifles and rocket launchers. The ensuing firefight is over in just 4 minutes, ending in your victory. Yet, winning brings no sense of triumph. You merely request a chopper to recover the casualties. A fortnight later, your unit suffers its first casualty of the tour. During a standard patrol, your junior medic triggers an explosive pressure plate. The blast flings him 15 feet away, severing both of his legs below the knee. Ironically, you look for the tourniquets he packed to save others and apply them to his wounds. You accompany him on the evacuation helicopter, gripping his hand. He repeatedly asks about his wife and questions whether his legs are still intact. You offer reassurance, telling him the medical staff will patch him up. Ultimately, his legs are permanently gone, but he survives. Half a year later, you pay him a visit at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. He expresses his gratitude to you for saving his life, leaving you completely at a loss for words. With the deployment behind you, you head back home, only to immediately begin preparing for the next mission. Level 6, the Team Sergeant. You have reached 32 years of age, with 13 years of service under your belt. Every morning begins with aching knees, and your shoulders pop whenever you reach out. Your ears ring constantly from experiencing countless detonations. You have already laid 3 of your comrades to rest in national military cemeteries across the country. Now, you serve as the Team Sergeant, an 18 Zulu.